All right, so what I'm going to talk about it's about the Ocean Storage version 3 convergent storage systems. So yeah, so basically this is going to be a presentation about um a, about so the objectives that we're going to cover after completing this course. You will be able to know positioning or ocean store version 3 convergent storage systems and software and hardware architecture of ocean store convergent storage systems and features of ocean store convergent storage system, right? So basically, so you will know what the positioning of this product is. You're gonna know about the architecture, software and hardware, and some of the features of this storage system. First of all, we need to go through a definition about what ocean store is, and then we're going to talk about the positioning of this device, and then we go ahead and explain about the software and hardware architecture. All right. Okay, let's move on to so let's just move on to product positioning. So I need to first of all, before I just move on to product positioning, an ocean storage convergent storage system basically it's a device that is just storing information. So basically we're talking about a box with too many hard drives, and we're going to talk about all the features, all the capabilities of these storage systems. Right, so the word convergent storage system is just an explanation that this device it's going to merge SAN and NAS. For those that are not familiar with SAN, SAN is a storage area network, and SAN uses iSCSI and fiber channels for storing information. iSCSI is Internet's small computer interface. This is just how we can use SCSI in the current Internet infrastructure, Ethernet cables. That's going to be cheaper than just fiber channel. That's part of SAN. And NAS is just like network area storage system. It's just when this is the most common explanation. Sorry, example is when you have a drive and you share your hard drive in the network so that everybody with the access with the route can access the information. So about the product positioning, we're going to talk about some of the features. This is a centralized storage solution. This is a high density virtualization. This is a tiered storage and data disaster recovery. Um, High density virtualization means that we can virtualize this solution as well to create a high density virtualization environment. And tiered storage means that has the capacity to allocate um, uh, different hard drives depending on the performance required on the systems. As you know, it's not the same to have a SATA disk. It's the same as a solid state drive, so on and so forth. So brand new hardware architecture delivering industry leading performance and specifications. So this is a brand new hardware architecture. So this is industry leading performance and specifications. So we're going to talk about that this version 3 convergent storage systems employs 60 gigabits fiber channel and 10 gigabits fiber channel over Ethernet host ports and provide 40 gigabyte system bandwidth. That's a lot. And 4 terabytes cache capacity and 8 petabytes storage capacity. So this is just information just to better understand that this product um, is really, really, really leading in the industry. Outstanding scalability and reliability, up to 8 controllers and linear growth of performance and capacity are supported. And of course, anytime that we're talking about some of the SCSI, we're going to talk about the controllers. And right, so some of the features is that we can have up to 8 controllers, and we're gonna have online deduplication and compression. This is just some of the features uh, that are in the solution to make it faster and more reliable, and, and I will explain in detail about that. Wide channel, latest latest 16 gigabits per second fiber channel, 12 gigabits SAS and PCI 3.0. Virtualization, so we'll talk about block level virtualization, heterogeneous virtualization, and computer virtualization. We'll talk about that later on. High specifications as large capacity, high cache speed, and large number of ports. Let's move on to the next one. Right, so here we have the three types of devices, and they are targeted to different enterprises. So for small enterprises, we have entry-level storage, 2600, 2200. It's not covered in this material. For medium enterprises, we have the 5300, 5500, 5600, and 5800. It's the mid-range storage functions and price balanced because it's just like the intermediate package. And we got the large enterprises, the high-end storage 6800. Uh, some of the features on the entry level is that it has a good performance, sufficient capacity, ease of use, and cost effective. This is just for small enterprises. A good about the medium enterprises, some of the features that we have: unified storage and stable performance, large capacity and flexible scalability, maximum capacity optimization, is high efficient, flash memory optimization. Some of the applicable scenarios are enterprise application programs like Oracle, databases, emails, apps, storage consolidation, server virtualization, advanced storage tiering, data protection, and file sharing. Basically the same applications for the high-end capacity device, which is the 6800, has the same, but instead of just talking about stable performance, we're talking about high performance, and this is faster and with more capacity, flexible capacity, scalability. It's just targeted to larger scale consolidation, layer one application virtualization, mixed workloads, multiple applications programs, high performance application programs. Right, so far we haven't just talked about, this is just a review of this presentation. There are three types of devices, and like in every company and every device, we get three devices based on the demand, based on the requirements of the customer. So having the small, medium, and large model based on the needs. So now that we're talking about the position of the device, and let's just go over the hardware. Maybe just make an introduction. The converged storage system of a brand new PNG hardware platform. It's we got the 5300 with 2 units, 2 rack units, the 5600 with 3 independent engine, 3 rack units, and the 6U 68300 6U. So basically, we see that every single one has active haptic controllers, and that we see that we can see on the physical dimensions as well the differences between both, right? Some of the features, product features, is that it is high performance. We're talking about PCI 3.0 high speed bus and SAS 3.0 high speed input output channel. And flexible scalability. These I/O interface modules are hot swappable, support for 4 interface modules and 2 onboard interface modules, support 16 interface modules, support 24 interface modules, robust reliability, and energy saving. So we'll talk about in detail when we go through every single one about what the features are. The 5300, 55 controller enclosure, 25 disk slots. So this is one of the presentations. Now we're talking about the entry level. Well, actually, for small enterprises, the 5300, 55 controller enclosure. And so we gotta say before that, talking about that we're having controller enclosure. So what a controller enclosure is. So remember that I said that we were talking about storage solutions. So basically have hard drives into a box, and we need to control that hard drives. In order to do that, we have a controller enclosure. In that controller enclosure, we got 25 disk slots. So this one, it's a presentation of 25. The height is 2 units rack height, and support up to 25 disk slots. Let's just move on to the next one. This is the 5500 controller enclosure, and we see on this presentation that this is also to you. Although this is 12 this slot controller. This is for the size. This is 3.5 inches size. It's kind of, it's bigger than the other one. On the rear panel, we can see some of the features of 5300. So here on the left and right, this is just basically the power VVU fan module. This is battery backup unit fan module, and that is in the 1+1 redundancy, meaning that we have one unit here that we have another one for redundancy. So if one is dead, the other is going to take over the load. Up to 94 power conversion efficiency. So I mean, it means that 6% is lost by the heat for this patient. And it supports minus 48 volts and 24 volts DC power. Right, so we're gonna see here that we got different slots. So we are going to talk and to explain about each one. So remember that so we're looking at mirroring ports on the upper side. We see a replication of the ports on the bottom side, right? So we see the same ports up here and down here. So here we see 4 onboard ports. This is fiber channels, and they work at 8 gigabits per second. Here we got 2 SAX expansion ports, and as the name refers, its expansion port means that this is the port that I'm going to use in order to connect more units. So yeah, I would say that I was explaining and just making a little test here to see how it works. Yeah, it's not that bright. I don't see very well the face of the person, right? So I'm still broadcasting. I'm just come back to the 5300 via panel, but I see that I need to make sure that I explain the difference. So this is the rear panel of the same controller. Let me just go back to sharing my screen. All right, so there you go. So let's just go back to here. All right, and let's just go back to sharing. All right, so we talk about the controller enclosure, 25 disk slots, and then this is the rear panel. So if we talk about these 4 2 interface module slots for each controller, we have two interface modules. So we're talking about this in specifically here is hot swappable, meaning that we're able to replace that online while the device is working. So we get rich port type is 16 gigabits per second fiber channel, 12 gigabits per second SAS, gigabit Ethernet, 10 gigabits. So 20 gigabits in fiber channel will be over Ethernet. So we got just very different flavors here, and of course we need to remember that these ports are in order to connect the servers, right? So we're coming from the servers. The servers are connected here into this interface module. Here we connect the expansion modules that if I want to connect in stack configuration, in the cascade configuration, just go ahead and use these couple of ports. Right, so this is the interface module to connect the servers, and we have the onboard ports, and that we can use to connect the servers as well. And so the difference between these two is that it's the flavor, right? On the onboard port, it's not hot swappable, and we just can connect here 8 gigabits per second fiber channels, right? Or that's for the 5500, and the 5300 I connect on these 4 dedicated ports. I can connect 4 gigabit Ethernet ports. Of course, for the serial port, the console port, and I got one dedicated for configuration network port and one for management network port. I will just cover that one in detail later on. Let's move on to the next slide. This is just a picture. We can see some kind of information here about how it looks on real life. And as you see, are the same ports. Those are the 8 gigabit per second ports, and these are when we connect the servers, and those are for expansion logs, right? So it's a good picture. So like I said, I was going to talk about hardware architecture, and in the hardware architecture, I have basically we're gonna see three colors here. We're gonna see the blue square up here. In the middle, we got the green one, and on the bottom, I have the black one. Right. So we're discussing this just that red ones are for power supply. The green lines are just about management channel, and blue one is service channel. Okay, so description of the black one, it's electromechanic subsystems. The green one is the disk subsystem, and the blue one is the service subsystem. So those interface modules, those are up here. Let me just go back here. The interface modules are these ones, right? Is those are the interface modules. To connect the servers into that one. Alright, those are the interface modules. So like I said, so we got a couple of interface modules. Let's just go back here and see. Um, we got interface module left and an interface module on the right. So basically there are different type of flavors over there. So here on these units, this is not actually enabled, or it's not installed by default. So if you want to have it, you need to purchase it. So nevertheless, we have the controller module, and every single device has its controller module that is inside the unit. And in this controller module, this controller module is connected to the interface module, the one that I said that was on the left. I want an interface module H. So right, so we see controller module A and controller module B, and over here, and we see interface modules over. So I will explain looking at the picture. So this is interface module 1 and 2, and this is controller 1 and controller 2. Okay, and these are the parts where I connect the expansion or cascade devices. If I want to connect more resources, I will go ahead and just use this one. So what are these lines? So these lines were explained about service channel and management channel. So it means that in order to manage, I have the dedicated channel one, and I got the power supply, and also I have the service channel and the management channel. Right, so it means that I have communication to see what is going on with the interface module, the control modules. Those controller modules are connected to PCI interface GE 3 times 8, and it just basically talking about that it has eight lanes to connect from each controller module. Right, and here we can see this 0 and this 1. These are the disks that store the information. And as you know, you may remember that I was talking that in the enclosure we can have up to 24 hard drives, or we can have up to 12 drives. So we can see a relationship between the controller module connected to this 23, but at the same time we can see the controller module connected to the same these hard drives. And what it actually means is that the controller module fails, the controller module is going to take over the hard drives, right? This is the disk system. So let's keep moving on to 5600 controller enclosures. VBU module, and this is battery backup units module, and in the 5600 it has 1+1 redundancy, remaining choose loss instead by failure. 5800 has 2+1 redundancy, and right. So these are just for uh, battery backup units, just in case of failure. Over here we got the controller modules. Now remember that we're talking about the middle one that is for use height, and also well, let's just go ahead and talk about, we got the two controller modules here. This is the front view, and we support dual controllers and four controllers in and support dual controllers and four controllers. I don't know what you mean. So I need to go in more detail what's going on over there, but yeah, mainstream server platform, automatic frequency control, and energy saving fan module integrated into controller module, maintained independently. Right, so let's just take a look at what we have here different than the other one on this unit. Right, so we got the two power supplies. These three are for management modules. You remember that we have one for the one that I can connect to the management module, another one for the service module, one's going to be for the console port. And up here I have I I have the I have some of the parts. If you look very closely, you're gonna see that we have B0 up to B7 and A0 up to A7. So what's there? I mean, I got 16 in total, 16 interface modules, so 8s and 8s. You see from B0 to B7 there are 8s, and for A0 to A7 I know 8, 16 interface modules. Uh, the capacity is increased here. I had a maximum capacity of 1256. They are hot swappable as well. And to each port size, I have 16 gigabits per fiber channel, 12 gigabit size G10G fiber channels. So you can see those guys are Ethernets. Those guys are for um those are for expansions right there. You can see P0 P1 over there. This is for expansions. And here we can see fiber channels. So I got B0 on B2 fiber channel, B3 Ethernet, B5, or I mean this B5 is size, right? So B0, B2, B4 are fiber channel. This is for SAS. Let's keep moving. I just going to stop it just to see what I have, how it looks like.